Michelle Obama. Where is she? Does anybody care? She's out on some island. She's got lots and lots of money, but there is a persistent rumor going around that Democrats, well, they know that Joe can't make it to the finish line, so they'll replace him with her. Could it happen? This has been around for a while, but there seems to be some renewed interest in the topic and murmurings that it's really going to happen. Nobody knows this story better than our next guest, Joel Gilbert. He actually made a film and wrote a book about this very topic, Michelle Obama, 2024. He has studied Michelle. He's talked with members of her family, including her mother, and he believes that this could happen and probably will happen. Joel Gilbert, welcome back to Newsmax. How are you? And maybe you're the one who deserves credit for all this buzz. I'm not saying you're pushing your candidacy, but people are talking about it perhaps like never before. Have you noticed?
Yeah, I've noticed that. I think it's tied to the fact also of how poorly Joe Biden is doing and how poorly he's looking, how poorly the results are in the economy, the border, wars abroad. There's now a clear consensus, not only among Republicans, but certainly among Democrats, that he's going to drag down the ticket and has a very big chance of losing. We've heard Obama, Axelrod, everybody commenting that they think Joe's not going to make it and that Trump is going to win. So there's a renewed interest in, I think, Michelle Obama as the most popular Democrat, the most beloved Democrat. And I've set out the case of why I think she's really been preparing to replace Biden.
All right, so look, what people say, people in the know, well, she hates politics. She has absolutely no interest in any of this. And your film and your book, you blow that out of the water.
Yeah, I do. I mean, look, Michelle is from a political family. People don't know that. Her father was a precinct captain in Chicago. Michelle grew up in Jesse Jackson's house. She was best friends with his daughter Santita growing up when he was running for president. Michelle was in politics 20 years before Barack. Michelle worked for the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Richard Daley, assistant planning commissioner. Michelle said she fell in love with Barack because he gave a political speech. So she married a politician. So Michelle's actually a better politician than Barack, a better speaker. She comes across more authentic. And we remember when she said, oh, I hate politics, I just want to be the mom in chief. That's because she was so over the top political. She said, for the first time in my life, I'm proud of my country. She got so much backlash, she decided to take a step back. But in reality, she's a political animal, as Aristotle would have called her.
Now, a few weeks ago, maybe months, a video came out. She was promoting, I don't know, it's some sort of initiative with the community, right? And I didn't pay much attention, but I see it in a new light now. Let's take a look at that, please.
Chicago is the place that made me who I am. It's the place that shaped me, developed my self-confidence, helped me discover my voice. There's an energy to this city that's like no other, an energy that lifts up, inspires, and nurtures. I learned community here. I learned all the things I know about being human from this place, this city, this culture. But also, I know these girls, right? I know what they're going through. I know what it feels to be raised in communities where you know you're smart and you know you're special, because when you are, you're born with it and you know it. And that's why I couldn't. All
right, so this goes on for a while. And Joel, I thought you was going to say something about barriers and being held back and that kind of thing, and she didn't. And it's very general and kind of vague, all that stuff about learning how to be a human being. What do you notice there, and what's going on here?
Well, she's trying very desperately to establish her connection to the Black community in Chicago, because in reality, she had no connection. She was not a member of the Black community. She's not even from south side of Chicago like she claimed. She's from an upper middle class area in South Shore. And her childhood, she had a lot of problems with the Black community. The Black kids rejected her. She had no Black friends. She refused to study at South Shore High School, 1 block from her home. Her and her brother. Her brother went to a Catholic school, even though they weren't Catholic. Michelle went to a magnet school. And she even writes about getting beat up by a Black girl who called her an Oreo, which is a racial insult. That means you're Black on the outside, but white on the inside. So Michelle had no connection to the Black community as a kid, but she wants to fake that she had one to get political power. I'm just one of you ordinary folks from the South Side, which she's not. That's what she's trying to establish. Look, she did another podcast last week where she said government does everything for us and trickle down doesn't work. Those are these socialist code words for socialism. The government does everything and the free market system doesn't work. So I think she's just being political. She's trying to establish some street cred because she has no street cred.
And is there any indication that she's staffing up, that there's something happening to actually, a lot of stuff has to happen when you're running for president. Is any of that stuff coming together now?
Well, not for Michelle Obama. The Obamas have something called Organizing for America. It's a nationwide organization. Michelle has her voter registration group called When We All Vote. She got $26 million bucks from George Soros for it. So with a flip of a switch, Michelle could have an entire organization ready to roll for her within a week and have $100 million in the bank. So she's that popular. She's the most popular person in the country, and she's a pop culture phenomenon. She can run a campaign and fill up stadiums on very short notice.
Stay tuned, huh? And very quickly, you think it's harder for Trump to beat her? I don't know if I agree with that. I think Trump could beat her almost. I don't know. I have a feeling Trump can take her. What do you think?
Well, she brings enthusiasm. There's no enthusiasm for people to come out and vote for Joe Biden, but there's tremendous enthusiasm. The people will wait in line to vote for Michelle Obama. She'll appeal to nostalgia. Remember how much you loved the Obama years? We didn't have any scandals. So I think she'd be a formidable opponent. And Trump is going to have to, I think, expose her biggest vulnerability, which is her terrible relationship with the Black community in Chicago, both growing up and as an executive, where I make the case that she exploited the Black community on behalf of white liberals in her career in Chicago.
You got to check out his book and movie, Michelle Obama 2024, and his Twitter, at Joel S. Gilbert. Joel S. Gilbert on Twitter. Joel, many, many thanks. Very interesting indeed. We'll be
Thank
right
you.
back. You bet.